Do you have any 2026 pop culture predictions?
I don't know if this is like
My name is Elisa. If you've never met me, my name is Elisa, and welcome back to Sunday Morning Juice. Today, I am joined by Maddy Myer, an entertainment publicist, writer, and now podcast host. Congratulations on the launch of Maddy Mania.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, of course. Because obsession is an art form, is your punchline for Maddy Mania. As a publicist, your entire career is built on curating the image, polishing the narrative, and keeping things on brand. Do you think you created Maddy Mania as a rebellion against your day job?
That's a good question. I don't think I did it as a rebellion for my day job. I think I did it as like an addition to my day job. I feel like I'm chronically online all the time because part of it is for work and just staying up to date with what's going on in that world. But part of it's like as a fan and just being on there for fun. And sometimes it gets hard to kind of like separate and the lines get blurred. So I kind of wanted to start Maddie Mania so I could have my own voice about those kind of things that I see both at the job but also just like my own personal passions in the entertainment industry.
Are the specific things we obsess over, like Bridgerton or Beyonce, do you think those are just mirrors to what we're actually missing in our real lives, or what are your thoughts on that?
Ooh. I don't think it's mirrors of what we're missing. I think it's more so like something that we feel a connection to and want to feel close to. You mentioned Beyonce, love her, but my probably like number one person is Miss Ariana Grande, and uh, she is. It's not like I'm missing. Like I don't want to be a pop star. I don't want to be in Wicked or anything like that. But just her voice and like her as a person and her personality, her humor, like I can relate to, and that's kind of what draws me in to her and different other things that I'm obsessed with.
Okay, 16 has made a comeback in the last 6 weeks. Why do you think people are so nostalgic about this time?
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't get it at first. Like when I saw the first couple of posts and tweets about 2016, I was like, guys, come on now. Like 2016 was okay. It wasn't like amazing, but maybe it's because the world wasn't on fire and there were still cool things going on. I mean, the biggest thing I remember from 2016 was that was like bad were those clowns that were just like out and about. And I think it's because that season of American Horror Story or something had to do with clowns and people just like took it and ran with it. But yeah, it's nice because I think the reason it blew up is everybody's in this like nostalgia mode and trying to get an escape from the real world. And 2016 was a much simpler time than 2026.
1000%. I definitely looked through my camera roll from 2016 and I was like, yeah, no, we're not posting any of those photos. But I was like, the music in 2016 was so good. And I have a question for you about that. Can you rank these 26 albums from least to most significant? We
Oh,
have,
26?
no, it's not 26 albums.
Okay, I was like, shit, I'm
We have
ready.
Beyonce's Lemonade,
Oof.
Views by Drake, A Seat at the Table by Solange, Frank Ocean, Blonde, Dangerous Woman, Ariana Grande, Anti, Rihanna.
God. Okay. Look. Number one, I am gonna give it to my girl Ariana. Dangerous Woman was a cultural phenomenon. Just the aesthetic of that album too, and then the tour following. And I feel like that's really where she kind of began to break into more like mainstream pop because of course she had like the previous album, but it didn't really like strike as hard as Dangerous Woman. And both that and Into You were great single pushes. And then, of course, Lemonade has to be next because that was the most iconic version of Beyonce, in my opinion. I can still
Literally.
see the music video and like her going around with the bat breaking shit, like that's Mother. And that album, um, I luckily was able to go to that tour with my mom, and it was the only Beyonce concert I've been to, but it was probably like top 5 concerts I've been to in my life, and I'm a concert head, so I go to quite a few. Number 3, I have to give it to Riri because, listen, girl, we need another album. Stop with these teases, and then it's just Fenty Beauty.
And babies.
Please, please stop. Like, yeah, Fenty Beauty and Babies, like alternating every year. But seriously, we need some new music from you. She's the type of person that has staying power for 10 years, clearly. And I think she could just do a song and dip again, and that'd be perfectly fine. That album is one of those where it's like no skips. You could repeat it back then so many times, and I could play it today and still feel like, oh, this is a solid album. And then next, probably Blonde, Frank Ocean. I feel like it's a different vibe than the others I mentioned, like less poppy, more like just like soothing kind of vibes, and like driving in your car with the windows down, listening to that. And he's another one that like barely releases music, and he kind of dropped one of the best albums ever. And yeah, it's one of those that I wish I could see live one day, but like he also doesn't really do performances, and we're not going to talk about the Coachella thing. And then I'll go with Drake. Listen, like this might be controversial, but I'm not the biggest Drake fan. And it's not like I'm like a big Kendrick fan either. It's like nothing about the beef. It's a good album. Definitely had some hits, and I feel like if TikTok was like more prominent around there in 2016, his album would be the one that people were doing dances to time and time again. And then last, I'm sorry, Solange, I do like you. I promise. I promise. She's last for me only because the other ones I just played more. I listened to the album, of course, and like I'll play it every once again a single or two from there, but it doesn't have as much staying power for me as the other previous ones. But again, she's a great artist. Love and appreciate her.
I cannot argue with this. Speaking of music, you just went to your fourth Grammy Award.
I did.
Can you tell me about this?
Yeah, so the first year that I went, I was like pretty new in LA. I did have um, like a PR job, but the reason I got to go is because one of my mom's friends, Sean Ardoin, was nominated, and he's like an artist in Louisiana that does like Louisiana style music, and he invited me and my mom to go as like some of his guests, so we were able to go. I like got my friend to do my makeup. I got a nice dress, and like I'm not a dress person, but I wore it because I was like, this is the freaking Grammys, and I'm like 22 at the time, and I'm like, what is my life? What the hell is going on right now? It was more so like that was my time going as a fan, where I got to like see, oh, like Coco Jones was walking past me, and Jack Harlow, and like all these people, and I was like, oh my god, like I love y'all. And then like from there through my PR job, we've had clients that were nominated multiple years in a row, so I've gotten to accompany them throughout the award ceremony, walking them on the red carpet, making sure they're getting some good interviews beforehand. They do like the photo line, and kind of just being there for them throughout the whole day up until the nomination, seeing if they win. And yeah, it's just more of a behind the scenes vibe and experience as a publicist, but it's still a great time and fun, and you get to meet a lot of new people and faces.
What is a common emotional thread that you feel amongst the things that you're obsessed with?
Passion, for sure. Comfort, I would say. I feel like something with all my obsessions is like, if I'm having a bad day, that's like something I can go back to and be like, oh my god, like this is helping me calm down a little bit. Or it's just like comforting knowing that I still have that, even though my life may be shit right now or whatever it is. So yeah, passion, comfort, and I would say also just like understanding, because I'm like, I know I'm obsessed with these people or these things, whatever it is. It's because like I like what they do, or I like the actors or whoever it is, and I feel like because of like the industry experience I have, I understand how hard it is to be like that kind of person for people. Being able to like understand they may have a mess up or something, and it's not the end of the world. Like they're not a terrible person just because they didn't want to take photos with paparazzi when they were out with their sister.
I think about that so much more now that I like live in New York and I kind of like see celebrities on the street. And you live in LA, so you obviously get it. Is there anyone that you've come into contact with that you like really had to compose yourself?
Yes, and it wasn't like the typical answer you guys are probably gonna expect. It wasn't like an actor. I guess technically he kind of is, but it wasn't like a singer or a mainstream actress. I met John Cena and I cried. I'm like the biggest wrestling fan out there. That's like probably one of my top obsessions, and grew up on that man. And I mean, everybody did. And like now he's retired from wrestling and just doing more acting. But I've met him twice now, but the time that I cried was last year in Vegas for WrestleMania week. And it's like, I don't know how many people lined up to meet this man, at least like 500, if not more. And you only get like, what, 10 seconds with him maybe, but I like wrote him a letter that I gave to him and he like held it up in the photo and like did his smile with the dimples, and I'm a sucker for dimples. And I gave this man a hug, and then I waited for my friend to finish his, and then we like both just started crying. And it's not like I couldn't talk to him or anything. Like I said my few words. It wasn't like I've ever been too starstruck to not talk, but it was just more so like, this is freaking John Cena. Like, oof.
When was the last time you felt a wave of shame when you were deep in a rabbit hole?
Uh, let's see. Well, so I don't claim that I'm a Blink, which is Blackpink's fandom name, because they're toxic, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of the group, and whenever they started doing like more of their solo stuff and like not so much group stuff, there's different fans that only like one or two members, and it's just like, who are you guys? Like, why they're like saying mean things about the other members essentially. And I'm just like, maybe it's because I'm grown and I'm like, I have other passions outside of just being online. But I'm like, okay, if you don't like a certain member, then like be quiet, and you don't have to spread hate to them. Like they're still in a group with these other members that you love, and yeah, they're friends. So like chill. So I like literally I could see myself on there like, and then goodbye, logging off because I don't want to see that.
Do
I
you
want to
ever
see.
respond? Do you get into arguments? Or have you?
I have in my teenage years. Now I am too grown for that, so
Totally.
I avoid that. Though I will get in a in-person argument if somebody comes for Miss Ariana Grande.
Yeah. I'm picking that up about you. Wait, what did you think of Wicked? And did you think Wicked Part 1 was better than Wicked for Good?
Wicked Part 1 was better, and that's the same way it is in the stage musical. Like Act 1 is better, it has the better song. So I like knew that going in. I didn't think they had to split it into two movies, cuz aside from For Good, like there weren't as many charged moments in Act 2. So, I kind of like expected to feel like that. So to give you my like as a stan comparison, I saw part one 13 times and I saw part two 4. So
Okay. In
that's
theater?
just for part one, it was like 10 times in theaters and then the rest out. And then part two, yeah, 4 times in theaters.
Wow. Are you an AMC member?
I am not. I should be.
You should.
I should be. Yeah. I had a whole like wicked surprise party planned for me for my birthday.
Oh my God. On the topic of movies, what are your thoughts on the one battle after another Marty Supreme Sinners conversation?
Hmm. So, Listen, I've only seen one of those. Shoot me, guys. I'm sorry. I've only seen Sinners, and my thoughts are that even though I haven't seen the others, that Sinners is the best. One, vampires, which I love. Two, the like obviously cultural aspect of it being like Louisiana, New Orleans vibes, and
Mhm.
being from that area. Big Michael B. Jordan fan and Haley Steinfeld fan, and I just love the dynamic between Michael B. Jordan and Ryan as a director actor duo. So my vote's for Sinners, and I am a fan of Timmy's acting, and Leo's one of the greats too. And I saw Tiana Taylor got a win for her performance in it, so I definitely need to check them both out. I just
Mhm.
haven't had the time yet.
Totally. And I mean, one battle is literally 3 hour watch time, and Marty Supreme is like two and some change. So you're gonna have to carve out a good amount of time. Do you think the conversation would have gone differently if Sinners came out closer to award season?
Mm, maybe so, cause yeah, like Sinners was earlier, and then Marty and One Battle were like way later in the year. So yeah, I think so.
Do you have any 2026 pop culture predictions?
I was never a big Directioner. I was a fan of One Direction, but I wasn't like that hardcore into them. I was more of a 5 Seconds of Summer girl when it came to like boy bands during that time. But I know they like linked up for Liam's funeral. Rest in peace, Liam. I think there's going to be some kind of like reunion this year, even if it's not a performance, just maybe like a group interview or something like that. And I think that would like shut down the internet. I feel like 2026 is like just about nostalgia as a whole because I mean, the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary, same with High School Musical, like all those things that we grew up on. And yeah, and they're doing Camp Rock 3, right? So like that too. And I know I'm just saying Disney stuff, but like that is the stuff that like we grew up with that now it's coming back into the forefront this year. So why wouldn't One Direction try to do the same?
You have successfully turned your spirals into Maddie Mania. Now, I have to know, are you helping us process our obsessions or are you just giving us permission to stay delusional?
A little bit of both, guys. Um, you know, I always support the delusion as long as you're not hurting yourself or others. So if it gets a little too much in here, then you need to be stopped and go outside, maybe touch some grass, as many of you may have been told before. But at the same time, I'm hoping you guys process through the podcast, just showing you that there's somebody else out there just like you that has the same kind of thoughts about different fandoms and people. And yeah, here to yap and hopefully build community through listeners.
Yes, Maddie Mania drops March 5th. That's when you launch. Can you tell the people where they can find the podcast and more about you?
For sure. So, Maddie Mania will be available in video format on YouTube. We'll definitely be posting some social clips on Instagram and TikTok as well, and all of those are at Maddie Mania Podcast. And then, in terms of just like the listening experience, we'll be on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and yeah, you guys can listen in the car, in the shower, whatever you want to do, but we'll be on all those platforms and stay tuned on Instagram and TikTok for clips. And yeah, when I'm not doing work or podcast stuff, I'm most likely listening to music or sleeping.
Come on. Oh my God, it was so good to have you on. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. This was a great convo.